Hello everybody. Thought we'd give you an update on the big Cub, or the big abnormal plane. We decided to do a video this time because we've been slow with the pictures and we can give you more information, and I hate to type. So anyway, go on into the hangar and we'll give you a show what we got. As you can see, our big Cub over here, we haven't done a lot of progress in some of our pictures. Mainly messing with the tails and a little bit of the fuselage. Waiting on getting the wing built. Dan, the sign man, is going to laser cut CNC cut the ribs for us. So we're waiting for shop time on that. You can see we mocked up the prop. We did that for Halloween because we had a big pumpkin on it, and lots of friends stopping by and they wanted to see the plane. So we had to give them a more realistic view of what it was going to look like. So we got the landing gear tied on. I know we did some pictures of that, but this is fully functional gear. We've got the rubber bands that tie the spring suspension in, and our big power wheels, electric car wheels that we bought. But we built the suspension out of aluminum. The main fuselage, which goes back to this point, is wood, and we did that because we're going to need some kind of structure for the motor. And we're going to need some structure to tie the wings together with the negative and positive G's that this thing may pull because of its size. We needed to make sure we didn't crush the fuselage in, being all foam. That would be quite a strain to it. But again, the wings will be attached to the top here. This hole here is our theoretical CG point. So we've been kind of playing with it to make sure that we're somewhat going to have something we can balance, and not that means a lot without the wings, but that's where we are. Now the tail section itself is completely foam. There's no wood in that. We put this 2" by 2" foam in to give us a greater gluing surface and to give us some structural integrity. Once we get the top on, we're waiting to put the top on until we get the wings, because we really want the wings to mold together or be a uniform fit there. So once we get the wing structure built, we'll go ahead and put this top on. Once we put that top on, it'll add a tremendous amount of rigidity to the tail, and it should be pretty solid. We'll experiment a little bit at that point. Hopefully we don't have a lot of flex in the tail, but it is what it is. Now we've got the tail, the horizontal and vertical stabilizers. They're just sitting on there right now, so they're a little bit floppy. Don't know if we need to redo them, but we're playing with mounting the servos, making sure that we have a solid structure. Once we get the tail tied on, we will be putting fly wires on the top and the bottom to give it a rigid structure. Now, if you look at the elevators here, all the way through the horizontal stabilizer, I've got a wood structure here. And the wood that we chose to use was aspen wood, and it was the lightest that we could find and the strongest versus weight ratio. But as you can see, we used a full coroplast hinge, and that hinge, gives us a lot of strength from one end to the other. Plus, it's very flexible. As we know, we love coroplast. Again, the tail. Or the rudder, we've got it mocked up. And you can see that we used our Turnigy servos that we talked about before. Now those servos are 1100 inch-ounces of torque. They're still a cheap servo, but we're hoping that one servo will be able to power that control surface. Now I am a little worried about, I wanted to put 2 servos on each surface, but again, these things are 4 or 5 ounces a piece, and the time you put 6 of those just on the tail, it adds quite a bit of weight. So experimenting right now with 1. Now you can see I've got quite a structure holding that servo in, and the reason I did that was my initial mount, which was just this large piece of gutter pipe, was a little flexy here, which gave us a little bit of extra slop in that surface. We do have this surface powered up with our servo tester, and again, nothing's attached, there's no flying wire, so it's a little jumpy, but we'll give you a little example of movement. And again, I used an aluminum control rod because I wanted something of strength there, and it's worked out pretty easy that way. But as you can see, again, it's a little floppy, but again, once we get it tied up and put the flying wires on there, I think it's going to be pretty solid. But anyway, we're hoping to get this finalized here in the next week or so, and once again Dan gets some time to start cutting those ribs, we'll get that wing built, and hopefully we'll be near completion at that time, or at least the main body of the plane. Gravity right now has got a motor concept for us, and going to take a 100cc Kawasaki 2-stroke motor, and we're going to try to convert it into a powerful engine for this. Don't know if that'll work or not, but Nick's pretty excited about making a try at it. So we've got time to figure out the engine. We've got some other ideas for engines that are in the works too, but we'll see if Nick can make that work. But anyway, this is our plane, and this is where we're at. And thank you very much. Team Abby Normal.